Hi guys, I hope everyone had a great Easter. Today our lesson is about believing. Believe it or not, Jesus has risen. Have you ever heard of a book called Ripley's Believe It or Not? Well, Mr. Ripley liked to collect strange things and amazing bits of information which seemed unbelievable, but were actually true. Here's an example from his story. So, a man named James Cook had a chicken one time that laid a perfectly square egg. Now, I don't know about you, but I've seen, round eggs, white eggs, brown and spotted eggs, but not a square egg. I think I'd have to see it to believe it. Here's another example. Joanne Barnes once swung a lot of hula hoops. Now, go ahead and take a guess how many hula hoops you think she was using. Maybe 2, maybe 10. How about 68? Can you believe that? I can't even keep one hula hoop going. I think I would have to see that to believe it. Now, there's a Bible story I'd like to share with you where they were having a hard time believing. And it's called The Promise. Abraham was sitting by his tent one very hot day. He looked up and saw 3 men standing nearby. He was happy to have visitors. He hurried to them and asked them to stay for dinner. Then Abraham ran to his tent. "Quick, Sarah," he said, "get some flour and bake some bread. We are having guests for dinner." Sarah made a good dinner for them. While they were eating, the men said a very surprising thing. They said, "Next year, you and Sarah will have a baby boy." Now, this was surprising because Abraham and Sarah did not have any children, and they were too old to have a baby. Sarah was listening in the tent. She heard what the men said, and she laughed. She did not believe them. Then God said, "Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too hard for the Lord?" And God kept his promise. Even though Abraham and Sarah were old, God gave them a baby boy. They named him Isaac. So in this Bible story, we saw that Sarah was having a hard time believing the men when they said that she would have a baby. She laughed, but God kept his promise and she had a baby. So the Bible, along with the book we were talking about earlier, Ripley's Believe It or Not, they both have some things that are very hard for some people to believe. But do you know what? If it's true, it's true, whether we believe it or not. Last Sunday, we celebrated when Jesus rose from the grave. He appeared to a group of disciples. Now, one of the disciples, named Thomas, wasn't with them. And so when the disciples told him that Jesus was alive, he said, "I won't believe it until I see it with my own eyes." Later, Thomas saw Jesus, and so he believed. But Jesus said to him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. But blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." A lot of people today won't believe that Jesus really rose from the grave because they haven't seen him with their own 2 eyes. But do you know what? It is true whether they believe it or not. You and I have never seen Jesus, but we believe. We accept him by faith. We don't have to see it to believe it. Let's go ahead and pray. Dear Jesus, thank you that you help us accept by faith that you have risen from the grave and that you are alive. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so for our activity today, I thought you could use your items from last week if you still have them. Our necklace that you've got and your ornament. And I thought that you could write the word faith on them, or write it on one of them. And why we're writing the word faith is because faith is believing in things not seen. And that was what our lesson was about today. So if you're not able to write the word faith on here, maybe because you already decorated them or you misplaced them, you could draw a cross and write the word faith inside, F-A-I-T-H, and then you can decorate the cross however you would like. But this word faith, no matter if you do it on the paper or on the ornament or on your necklace, faith is written today to remind us that faith is believing in things not seen. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.